Toxic love isn't just about pain. It's about craving the very thing that hurts you the most. It's that message that makes your heart race, even when your gut is screaming at you to run. It's the deafening silence after an argument that somehow makes you want him even more. And here's the brutal truth. Many men know exactly how to keep that addiction alive. It's not always conscious. It's not always with malicious intent. But somewhere deep down, they know which buttons to press. They know how to keep you hooked. Picture this: a woman decides she's finally done. She blocks his number, deletes the photos, cries it out with her friends, and swears this is the last time. Then, 2 days later, a text arrives, "I miss you." And just like that, her brain lights up like a slot machine in Vegas. The dopamine rush hits. The craving reignites. This isn't love. This is a textbook case of toxic love addiction. And it operates just like any other drug. Her heart whispers, "He'll change this time." Her brain argues, "He's the only one who ever made me feel so alive." But what's really happening isn't destiny. It's chemistry. It's a biological response to a carefully, or carelessly, orchestrated cycle. When a man alternates between affection and withdrawal, when he showers you with warmth, and then suddenly goes ice cold, he's creating a state of profound uncertainty. And uncertainty is the most powerful addiction formula known to human psychology. It's the very same mechanism casinos use to keep you pulling that lever, hoping for a jackpot. It's the same loop social media platforms use to keep you scrolling endlessly, waiting for the next hit of validation. This is precisely why toxic love feels so addictive, because your brain isn't craving love itself. It's craving the intense reward that comes after the period of pain and uncertainty. The relief becomes the prize. And that's how men, whether they're knowingly doing it or not, keep women hooked. They manufacture the exhilarating high, and they orchestrate the devastating withdrawal. They create the chase, and then provide the reward. This isn't romance, it's reinforcement, a powerful psychological conditioning that can feel impossible to escape. Let me tell you about a woman we'll call Emma. Emma is smart, confident, and successful in every area of her life. But with him, it's a different story. Every time he pulls away, she's consumed by a wave of panic and anxiety. She questions her worth, replays every conversation, and obsesses over what she did wrong. Then, when he finally decides to come back, the feeling she gets is pure relief, almost a state of euphoria. That intense moment of relief becomes her drug. He doesn't need to manipulate her with words. He just needs to stay unpredictable. To text her good morning, then disappear for 3 days, then reappear with a love poem, just enough to keep her emotional system on fire, constantly oscillating between hope and despair. This is the twisted, predictable rhythm of toxic love. Withdrawal leads to craving, which leads to a temporary moment of relief, which then cycles right back to withdrawal. And with every single rotation of this cycle, the emotional bond, this trauma bond, gets stronger, not weaker. It digs its hooks in deeper, making the thought of leaving feel not just difficult, but physically impossible. Here's the hardest truth you might ever have to accept. You are not addicted to him. You are addicted to how he makes you feel when he finally gives you his attention again after a period of starvation. You're addicted to the relief from the anxiety that his absence created. And here's where it can get darker. Some men, the ones who crave power and control, understand this on a primal, intuitive level. They weaponize distance. They use silence not just to punish, but to get validation when you come running back. They use chaos to create a false sense of connection, because in the eye of the storm, he's the only one there. They know, consciously or not, that the more unstable and unpredictable the relationship is, the deeper your emotional hook becomes. Neuroscience actually has a name for this phenomenon: intermittent reinforcement. It's the exact principle that makes slot machines so addictive. You don't win every time, but you win just often enough to believe the next pull could be the big one. It's what keeps women trapped in these toxic love loops. Every unpredictable act of cruelty, followed by an unpredictable flood of affection, wires the brain. It teaches your neural pathways to expect pain before pleasure. And once that devastating link is forged, you will start to chase the pain, because you've been conditioned to believe it is the only path to getting the high of his affection. That isn't love. That's emotional conditioning. That is toxic love addiction in its purest, most destructive form. So, the question is, how do you break free? The answer might surprise you. It's not about blocking him with sheer willpower. It's not just about deleting his number and hoping the craving subsides. True freedom begins with understanding the cycle. Because awareness is the kryptonite to addiction. Once you can step back and see the pattern for what it is, a manipulative game of intermittent reinforcement, the illusion shatters. The magic trick is exposed. Once you stop mistaking chaos for passion and anxiety for love, he loses his power over you. Freedom doesn't start when he stops calling. It starts when you stop feeling the compulsion to answer the pull. It begins when you recognize the craving not as a sign of love, but as a symptom of withdrawal. Toxic love addiction looks and feels like the most intense passion ever experienced. But it's just pain dressed up as desire. It's a counterfeit emotion. And the moment you see it for what it truly is, the moment you can name it and understand the mechanism behind it, you are no longer addicted, you are awake. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, please consider liking and subscribing for more content on building healthy, authentic relationships. Stay safe and remember your worth.